Alright, I haven't made a new video on it in a minute because of the holidays and weather and whatnot. I was gonna do a riding video, but I never got around to it. But here it is outside. Still haven't got the right size wheels for it, so my diff is still about 2 to 3 inches off the ground. Well, the diff, that's why that's so beefy, is to protect the diff. As you can see, I made this bumper, which is preemptive to when I get the bigger wheels. It's only welded on the front and back here, not underneath or anything, so that I can easily just cut it off and slide it forward or backward or wherever. I kind of guessed at the measurement. I half-assed held something else up there that was the right diameter and figure that should be all right, but we'll see. And then eventually I'll have to weld on a mount up here, and then I'm using a set of car tires, a car tire that I cut in half as the fender. I still got to shape them and cut them up more, but I'm waiting until I get the tires. Oh, and I modified my wagon to be like that. Toe's a lot more stable. So that's, you know, I put a hood ornament on it. As you can see, it's cold out and frosty. But yeah, it's still a piece of shit wrapped in duct tape, but you know, I've been working on it. Oh, and that's the beefy ass welder wire battery terminal cable thing. It's good, it don't get hot no more. Nothing in the power system gets hot anymore, which is great. Which that's also due to the fact that I have a 9-to-1 gearbox, makes it easier on the motor. And then, yeah, my suspension is this old dirt bike tire for now. I suspect it'll only last so long until it just stays collapsed. I don't know. But, I'll put, like, suspension on it eventually. And, yeah, so that's that bumper. So it's made out of, desk chair legs, actually. But, you know, it looks alright. It's a bumper. It's not perfect. As you can see, as far as the top layer and the bottom layer being lined up with one another, yeah, they're not completely identical, but it don't matter for what I do. I don't give a fuck. And it is functional as far as it's not just going to be the rear support for the fenders, which is the main reason I made a bumper. It's because I need something sticking out that far for the back part of the fenders. But also, I can make tight turns without locking up the rear wheel. Yeah. I used to do that by accident a lot. Trying to turn around in parking lots, it would lock up the rear wheel, hit the wagon, even the old version of the wagon, it'd lock it up. But not anymore. So, bumper's functional and practical. It's not finished, but yeah. That's that turd. And now I'm also working on, now that it's got the torque, I tested it dragging that through the snow, like deep snow we had, on a little wooden sled I made, just to see how much torque I really had, how much power it was going to have without slipping in the snow and stuff. And it pulls a lot of weight. I had that, plus my bin full of, it was a lot fuller than that at the time. I've been digging through it and pulling stuff out, full of metal and whatnot. So yeah, it's got the torque, so I started building a snowplow. I'm not done yet, but I didn't have enough sheet metal. Basically, this is the same thickness. This was pipes, but it's the same thickness as that actual snow shovel, so I figured it ought to be good enough. I just had to do a lot of flattening it out and whatnot, and I'm still not done. I got high as balls last night and made myself finish the tedious part of getting it all made into one piece there on both sides. It ain't pretty, but I know enough to make sure both pieces are pulled together. It's you know, I don't know if any of you know what I mean, but like when you're welding, you see when they blend, when the pool, it all becomes one thing. And the welding bit's not just a blob on top of it. You can see that when you're welding, and you're not done till that happens, basically all along. And so, that's what I did. And, yeah, it's not done yet. I'm waiting to finish them. I was going to do a rigid mounting bit, but now I'm thinking I'm going to make a little swing arm bit with a few of my springs I've got laying around, and make it so that the front end is always getting pressure pushed down, so that yeah, and then eventually I have to make a removable leading edge or a wear item leading edge or something. But yeah, I've still got to cut a piece that goes along the back half there. This is going to get cut off and shaped about here, so this all bits extra. And then I still got to shape I like how this one curled on this side as I was welding it. I like that look. So I'm probably going to try and this side does have more metal. It's just because I didn't precisely cut the tubes in half. So I've got room to try and cut and mimic that curl here. I tried to bend it, or tried to weld it in the same way I welded that one. Half this way and then half that way, and this side curled like that, and I like that. Tried to do the same thing over here and it just didn't curl at all. It warped a little bit like that, but it didn't curl. So then I welded in this brace and I realized this has got more metal, so I've got wiggle room to just cut that curl into it. So yeah, and then brace it up back there and do all the bracing. And then eventually create the hitch mount. And this is going to go, actually I've already tested it even with the overhang, the extra bits. This fits, this goes under the hitch and it attaches on the hitch with a piece of square tubing. And it's going to be so that I can still pull the wagon at the same time if I can find the piece that's, here it is. Alright, so basically I made this. This slips onto my square hitch, and then the wagon can go over this and whatnot, and the pin goes through it all. And the way I'm designing this is, it's, you know, underneath and gonna have pressure. But I've already tested the wagon the way I've got it and like swung it around and stuff. Nothing interferes with anything, even with the extra length, and I'm only going to be cutting it a little shorter, so it's definitely not going to be in the way of the wagon as far as all full steering and stuff. So I'll be able to use the wagon and this. So yeah, it's like a little track. I've not got the front edge on yet. Thinking I might use that old bacon pan. It's one of the thicker ones. It's not a cheapo. Either that, or I might wind up cutting up some of that snow shovel and using it for some of the, and then I still gotta, yeah, I want to make this leading edge. That's why I use this as the reinforcement for the back. Still got some work to do. Like I said, I did the annoying part of it last night, and now is more designing and stuff. That's the hardest part, is just that. I haven't got the back side, but that's because the overlap is pretty much just damn near the width of the weld anyway, so I might do the backside, probably won't. I don't think it's necessary. And this top layer is on the back, it's overlapped on the back side of it, so that once I clean all this up and grind and stuff, it should just be normal and not much, yeah, little tiny snowplow. But yeah, that's pretty much the update. I've been meaning to clean up my workstation. It's been cold, so I need to take stock of my stuff, reorganize it, throw some more stuff away as I have to do every so often. Figure out what's useful and what's not. There's one of the, they're both there. The fenders I haven't really fully shaped yet. I still gotta cut the sidewalls and stuff and shape them a little better. I'm waiting to get the tires before I do that. And they're on their way. Someone help me to get them again. My damn cheap vise broke. Don't get one of them cheapo little ones like that. And well, if you use a vise like I do, don't. And I don't mean as a press or anything. I just mean put shit in a vise and then bang it on the shit, or putting leverage and all that. Cheap vices can't handle that. So I'm gonna have to make my own, made out of something that's not cast. That's how they get away with making them so cheap, is it's all cast. It's not welded or nothing. So I'll just make my own damn vise, following the similar process to anyone else who's made a steel vise. And that's the other frame and the sled. And my stock of wood I've been storing there for now. But yeah, as it starts to warm up, I'll reorganize this so I can use my workbench again and whatnot. It's just too cold to sit out here at it, and anytime I've been doing all this, I've just been, because I took the power strip off of the workbench and brought it in for the winter. I need to buy another one so that I have more for inside and another one for there. And so yeah, since the plug is way over here, I've just been kind of hanging out over here and doing stuff for the winter. Yeah, I gotta build a new door. This one's warped to hell because of the cold. as you can see. This was never meant to be a door anyways, but I realized it fit up there, so I used it as a door. Just a little rolly door. It's got wheels. But I'll make a purpose-built one, I guess, this summer if I stay here long. It'll, you know, be better. Yeah, I got a lot of cleanup to do and restocking and organizing. And that long piece there of the shelving rack or whatever is the part that's getting cut up and going on the back side. And it turns out this short one I didn't even have to cut up at all. That's just as it was. It already had the 45s or whatever in it. And so, and I'll just use one side of that's already got the 45, so I'll just try my damnedest to measure it and cut the 45 on the other side and just stick it in place and weld it. And then there's more bracing and whatnot, and we'll see how it performs when I get it done and if I need to do any improvements. The hard part is just making something, making it at all. It's taken me forever. I've been working on this thing for days. I even had to borrow an anvil just because I don't have a quiet press or anything. And this was fairly thick sheet metal. It's thick enough. It's just, like I said, as thick as a snow shovel. And I had to hammer it good enough using an anvil and my sledgehammer and my ball peen. You know, a sledgehammer's good for moving quickly and stuff. And then you want to get a little more precise, get the littler dents, you use the ball peen. And then an anvil, or a longer flat surface in general, helps to straighten it out. So, yeah. Of course, this isn't going to be straight. And even once I get it done braced up and everything, I'm also going to take, not my sledgehammer, but maybe a board or something. I might make a wooden mallet. I've been meaning to make one for a while. And then I'm going to dimple all of this into where, you know, once the braces are in place, it'll be a pretty neat looking and functional snowplow. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Weather's cold. I've been, you know, still doing a lot, just I don't have the energy to document everything. So, show you more as I can. That's all.